For this episode of Learn Japanese Fighting Game Turns Like a Cultured Gaijin, I am going to do something a little bit different from the usual. Think of it as a spin-off. For the people following this channel, you may have noticed that I've been making videos for both the Japanese and English-speaking audience recently. And while working on those, I have realized that despite the move names using English words, the Japanese version of Street Fighter 6's Crimson Viper has different names for some of her moves. So for this episode, I'll be going over them. Alright, I'm going to start off with Thunder Dash, her lunging electrocution attack. The interesting thing about this one is that the name has changed compared to her previous iterations. In Street Fighter 4, where she was first introduced, this move was called Thunder Knuckle. To me, this name makes much more sense as her special is an attack rather than a command dash with a follow-up. We aren't playing L4 after all. I suspect this is a copyright issue because there are Pokemon cards with the same name. Otherwise, this change doesn't make much sense. Now the Japanese version is a bit worse. It's Thunder Slap. I personally don't like it because it sounds weak, and I'm glad the translator thought the same. I initially thought they should have named it something like Thunder Palm, since she hits her opponents with an open hand. But after some research, it seems like Tekken's Ganryu already has a move with that name. I guess all the obvious names are used elsewhere. Next is Seismic Hammer. This one is called Seismic Hammer in Japanese. I'm assuming they wanted it to sound similar to things like seismology or seismograph, but I guess it didn't go with the theme of very plain move names like Burning Kick and Thunder Knuckle, so it was changed to Seismic Hammer. I agree with this choice. Now, as for the pronunciation, Japanese folks call it Seismo Hammer, or more commonly shortened to Seismo. That's why some English-speaking veterans who experienced the Street Fighter 4 era will call it Seismo. Last special move is Focus Force. This is a move she didn't have in Street Fighter 4, but is similar to the system mechanic, Focus Attack. Both are chargeable armored moves that can crumple the opponent on hit. Now the interesting part about this mechanic was that it was named differently in Japanese. Instead of focus, the word saving was used instead. I assume the move was named this way because it was supposed to save the player from strong attacks. Obviously, saving attack doesn't make much sense in English, so it was changed. So with that said, the Japanese name for Focus Force is Saving Force. Forward Throw, High Impulse. This one is named Over Impulse in Japanese, but usually you want a verb to come after over, like overcook or overreact. So I assume that is why the translator changed it to high. Let's move on to Super Arts. Funny thing, these are all different. Super Art 1, Limit Decoupler. You're never going to guess this one. It's Bouncer Step. Excuse me? Are we comparing an intelligence service agent to a security guard? Yeah, it just doesn't fit. On second thought, it might actually describe how she bounces upwards. I don't know, the name doesn't make much sense. Also, if you watched the previous episode, you might know that the word step in Japanese can be used to talk about movement, like forward dashes. I assume they wanted to describe the nature of her flashy footwork that blasts the opponent away. Mission complete, Super Art 2. This one is also another grammatical fix, as the original is called Mission Over. This one is a bit odd because both her Super Art 1 and Super Art 3 are proper nouns that sound like actual special names, but this one is just status update. The last one is Hard Luck Rejector. This is where Viper gets hit by the opponent and immediately retaliates with a launching attack. I assume Hard Luck is describing her opponent's attack, and she's rejecting it. In the Japanese version, the word hard luck is replaced with unluck, so unluck rejector. According to the dictionary, the word unluck does exist, but it's not as commonly used as things like bad luck, hard luck, misfortune, and so on. So I'm not surprised the translator made the decision to change it. There you have it. These are all the differences between the Japanese and English versions of Street Fighter 6's Crimson Viper. If you found this interesting and want to see other characters in games, let me know in the comments. Alright, until next time, have fun with fighting games.